Oliver, thanks for joining us, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Ben. Thanks for giving me the opportunity.
That's great. Great to have you here. Look, Oliver, maybe where we could start is, can you just tell us a bit about what life sort of looked like before you came to see us?
Yes, so you've basically moved to Australia 10 years ago. And I think while moving around and always being on travel and didn't really look after the money aspect too much. So we always changed places. And yeah, after a while, we kind of settled a bit. So we looked at our finances and basically wanted to see what we need to do for the future. We didn't really have too many problems day to day, but for the long term, we weren't really sure what we should be doing, what we should be looking at, whether it be investment or property or just savings. So usually we just saved. So we came from Germany originally, so it's a whole lot of savings culture when you grew up. So we did mainly that. So yeah, that was basically the first thing to look at, like what should we do longer term, and then set ourselves up for the future. And that's where I met you, Ben, and the team through General Assembly and reached out.
That's right. Yes, yeah, we're still doing quite a lot of stuff with those guys. It's a great community with the General Assembly people, and I think a good sort of lead in for people that you can get a bit of a taste of, different things that to find what resonates for you. But Oliver, I am keen to sort of dive into a bit of the spending prioritization and how we found balance. But before we get there, tell us a bit about what were the main sort of challenges or frustrations for you when we first started talking?
Remember, I think it's the main reason was what should we do with our savings. So we had like a monthly savings goal. Sometimes we met it, sometimes we didn't. So that's, I think, was one frustration. And then the holidays came in a way, and so it always eats up a little bit of savings. And because we didn't have a clear strategy on what we should be doing going forward in the long term, I think we didn't really have a major goal as such to eat up that savings as such. So I think that was probably the main frustration.
Yeah, I think it's hard that you know that you need to make progress, but if you're not clear on where you want to be headed, then it's often difficult to motivate yourself to put in the work to get there. And it's easy to, like what you mentioned, where you're traveling and enjoying yourself, and it's easy to sort of deprioritize those. I suppose getting the financial targets, and you're enjoying your lifestyle, but not getting ahead at the rate that you want. And I think that for you mentioned Germans who tend to be pretty sort of sensible and diligent with these sorts of things. But so you actually want that you want to be secure in the future, but it doesn't always easily translate into what you should actually do. But what was it that actually prompted you to do something about some of those challenges that you were facing at the time?
I think the main reason was also that we got some inheritance from Germany, and we want to do something smart with it. Basically to build something for the future, just for ourselves and in the future for the kids. So we just had our first child born. So we thought like, okay, now we need to really think about what we need to do, and always thought about living in a property as well, but that we own. But that wasn't a key desire. It was more do something that makes sense in the long term and save up so that we have enough in the longer term. That was the initial starting point. Do something smart with money.
And understanding what's possible, I think, as well, especially for people that migrate to Australia. It's like you know how things work, from in the country that you were born in or where you grew up or whatever. But and then you come here, and because money is one of these things that everybody's got an opinion about, it's like, well, what should I be listening to here, and what should I be ignoring? And you need to do something, but with all that noise there, it's like you end up with this information overload, and you're overwhelmed, and then it just makes it really even harder to make a decision.
Yeah, that totally, I totally agree with that, and that really helped with the process. As you turned out when we first come to see you about our strategy and what's possible and what we should be looking at and what's important to us, that really helps clear the path. So before it was more like, should we listen to A or B? So just to go through the process really helped setting ourselves up and really be clear on what we wanted to do, even for the first year and a half or 2 years, and then we can change it again. I think now we have a different perspective on things as well, so that whole process helped a lot.
Yeah, definitely. And we've done a lot, and I'm excited about some of the things that are